Good day, kids. Today we are going to do the closing off of the petty cash book that we did in lesson 43. First of all, before we do that, we need to make sure that the entries in the petty cash book have been done correctly. And the petty cash book is cross-cast or cross-totaled. The total of the total column must be equal to the sum of the analysis columns plus the amount of columns of sundry accounts. So the total here must be the same as when we enter all the totals here, right? So we're going to start calculating all the totals together. So this total amount is 267, and then we total this column as well. We total this column and this column, and finally the last column. So if we total all of them and we add the stationery wages, sundry expenses and the sundry account amount together, then they should accumulate to 267. So let's see if that happens. Okay, so we say equals to 30 plus 30 plus 102 plus 85, and that will give us 247. So there's something missing here. Now we need to make sure what is actually missing and why is it missing. Okay, so let's look at our totals again. 10 plus 20 is 30. But for some reason this one's 50, so this one's a calculation is not correct. So let's do that equation again. And there we go. So 50 and 102 and 85. So this will normally happen also if you do it with your hand. If you do a calculation equation wrong or a calculation mistake, then you'll see that this doesn't balance at all. So first of all, we need to make sure that if we calculate all of these together, they need to give us the same total as it is in the total column. Okay, so that our first check is done. So our next check that we need to do is we need to draw total lines across all the money columns on the credit side and add each column. So we've done that. So we've drawn a total column here. That's a total column. Okay, and we've added all the amounts together. So what we normally do is we make these columns thicker. We give them a line that's a little bit thicker so we can see that they are the total columns. Okay, and then what we do is we have added all of them together. Now we need to close off the account. So in the next line, you make an entry for the amount received from the cash book, so it's restored to the impressed amount. Remember, impressed, we've learned that it's the beginning of month balance for the cash book. So whatever the cash book needs to come back to that impressed amount, that is the amount that we need to do. Okay, so we need to put in here, how much do we need to create a balance of 500 again? So we've used 267, which means we need to now say on the cash book that we have balanced the impressed amount. So we leave a line open and then we say impressed amount here is 267 because that's how much we've used in the cash book. Okay, and we got it from the cash book again. Okay, and that would be happening on the 30th of the end of the month. So the 30th or the 31st, depending on the month. Okay, and what do? We've got cash. Okay, so by the 1st of July, we would have $500 in our petty cash again to start our month. Okay, so now we need to carry down. So in the next line for the balance, carry down, and also on the last day of the month, remember, this amount is the same amount as the balance brought down at the beginning of the month. So the balance carried down must be the same as the balance of the first of the month as well. Okay, so let's do that. So we, on the folio column, we say carry down. Okay, and what do we carry down? We carry down the balance. So we carry down the balance. And how much was the balance? The balance was $500. Okay, so we have a balance of $500 in our petty cash. So if we calculate them all together, both of the sides should balance. Okay, so again, if we take this and we add all of them together, so take the 270, sorry, dyslexia, 267 plus the 500 of the balance, you have 767. And if you do exactly the same here, you say the 500 plus the 267, then you get 767. So with cash books, it's very important that they balance off. Okay, and when we are finishing with this balance off, we make sure that all our columns are drawn correctly. We make sure all our columns are drawn correctly. You will be drawing this in with pencil. We have our two totals that would also be in dark lines. Okay, and then we leave a line open and we start with our petty cash again, but for the next month. So then I'm just going to copy the beginning of the petty cash. I'm going to put it in this line here, and I'm going to change the date to July. Okay, and this will not be petty cash 1, it will be petty cash 2. Oof, sorry about that. Just fix that quickly. July. There we go. Okay, so we have our next petty cash for the next month ready. Now this is how a balanced petty cash should look. Remember, you get the marks for the dark lines, you get the marks for the totals that you calculated, and you need to make sure that the total column matches the amount of all the other total columns that we have there. If those two amounts balance, then you know your petty cash cash book is done well, and you will get all your marks that you need. Okay, so yeah, this is how we do a petty cash. Please let me know in the comments or ask me if you're in my class exactly if you have any questions that you need to do. Okay, it's very important. So one thing that we forgot to do is, sorry about that, because we're starting with the next month, we need to start with our balance again, isn't it? So we need to bring down that balance. This balance we need to bring down. Okay, so how much are we bringing down? We're bringing down the $500. So where did we get the $500 from? There, we got it from there. Okay, so this amount and this amount is the same. Okay, our folio would be brought down, and our date would be the first of the month. Our details would be balance, which means our petty cash started with $500 for that month. Okay, so that is how we do a petty cash closing off. Again, like I said, remember that these values must add up together to give you the same total as that amount. So this amount should be equal to all of these together. When you add all of them together, this one must be equal to that amount. Okay, and then this $500 would be our first transaction in our next month's petty cash. Okay, so yeah, just let me know if you have any other questions, and then do the activity on my Google Classroom.